Very basic stuff, right? We discussed it, and we discussed about the operators in DAX. What is arithmetic operator, comparison operator, concatenation operator, logical operator? See, concatenation operator is a very simple one. You can use the pipe symbol to come, or not the pipe symbol, the ampersand. Okay, I'll show you how to concatenate the values in your data set. Okay, so now what we will do is we'll take a look at the information functions. We have something called is blank, is empty, is logical, is text, right? So for example, you want to test programmatically whether a given column is a number data type or text data type, or does that the given column has any blank value in it, right? And that is the one we can see is empty. See, is blank and is empty, right? So more or less, it is same, but here we use the table expression, okay? Here you can specify the column name, but here you can specify the table expression, and is logical, is test, everything is same. And importantly, the logical function, when it comes to logical functions, the information functions, right? You have other functions are also available, but these are the one you'll be using it more frequently. And the logical functions, like other programming languages, you have switch functions, which is very powerful function, which is available in DAX. So you don't have to write multiple if-else condition. Okay, with switch, right? You don't have to write multiple if-else condition. There are situations you may have to use nested if conditions, right? So in that kind of situation, the switch is really, really helpful. We will just explore what is the information function, all the things. I just opened this Power BI thing, and I just click on the sales by customer. We have something called sales by customer. For example, I have the customer name column, no, sales column blank. Look here. Here, so currently I'm in the data view for the sales by customer. I just clicked on the sales by customer in the data view. It displays all the columns that belongs to this table. And along with that, look here, I have created some additional column. How to create a new column here? How to create a new column here? You have the table tools and click on the new table. Okay, click on the new table and sorry, new column. Click on the new column. If you click on the new column, a new column will get created. For example, look here, I just copy this and I want to create a new column. This is called your calculated column. Okay. Remember that you are in a data view and then you select the table which you wanted to include an additional column. Yes, I did that. And then look here, I just clicked on the new column in this table, sales by customer. Here I'm going to put a sales column blank, something like that. Here I'm going to check if this sales column that belongs to this table has blank value. If it is a blank value, replace that by 0. You remember, previously I have shown you in the Power Query editor in the sales column, I have replaced the dollar by empty string. And also we found NA. NA is not available, right? Blank values. So we replace the NA by 0 manually, right? But programmatically, we can do it this way. If any column has a blank value in it, replace that by 0, and then or else you leave the rest of the values as it is. Okay. Wherever you find the blank values in the sales column, you replace it by 0, and the rest of the values you leave it as it is. It doesn't require any treatment, right? So that is the thing. Look here, we have some blank values, right? And here, let me put it blank 1. Since I'm using the same thing again, look here, blank 1. So here 0, wherever you see 0, right? 1 second. So this is the sales column, okay, and for the same sales column, I'm doing some kind of pre-processing, data pre-processing. I don't want to leave the blank space as it is. I want to convert that as a, I want to replace that with some zero, okay? One second, it should show the data type for the same. Yeah. So active and date of birth. Okay, it is not showing anything there. Okay. See here, I have created a new column. The purpose of the new column is I don't want to leave the blank space as it is. I want to replace that by 0. So here, wherever the blank values, only in that blank values, it replaced it with 0, right? 0. And here 0. So rest of them remain as it is. So here, now you learned how to use if function, right? The first argument for if condition is, you need to check whether some column name is equal to some value. But since we are using is blank, it is an information function, okay? It returns either true or false, right? The is blank. It goes and checks this column. Yes, there are 3 trues are there. True means three blank values are there. So whichever values you have true here, it will replace that with 0 and rest of the values will remain as it is in the new column. Okay. I don't want to disturb this column because I want to refer it back. Since this column was not disturbed, we are able to verify whether the blank value got replaced by 0, right? For verification purpose, still we need this column. Okay. And we need we could see that, see the one. So right, this is called this is one of the examples for creating a calculated column. So in this, this is a column, right? This is a calculated column. This is not a table column. Okay, I have created an additional column, but the existing columns were units sold, sales, active, data bar, up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 or maybe right 5 columns. First 5 columns were the customer given data. For example, you have given, your manager gave you the 5 columns. Okay, this is the business columns. Rest of the columns are like the one we have created in addition to the business columns given to us. Okay, and now you learned how to use is blank. Is blank is a information function. Similarly, if I click on Boolean logical, here I have used the is logical. Whether the column active is a logical column, Boolean data type or not. Yes, true is there, and it is a logical Boolean data type. Yeah, true. And here it says false because we have blank value, and true, and false, right? Somewhere it's right because we have 4 false blank values are there. Hence, this is not a logical value, right? It's not a Boolean value. It's an empty value. Hence, it gives me false. Okay, now you learned about is logical. Programmatically, we can check whether we have a blank values in a column, whether we have a logical value in a column. In this column, I have used is error. There is something called is error. Here, look here, and the if condition, right? The first argument is I'm going to check if I divide the sales column blank, right? This is the one. If I divide this value by units sold, unit sold is this, but somewhere the the empty value is there. You know very well, if you divide any value divided by 0, what will happen? 0 divided by anything is 0 divided by anything is infinity. Anything divided by 0 is 0, right? Am I correct? So if you have in the denominator, if you have a 0, what will happen? Anything divided by 0 is infinity, sorry, right? Anything divided by 0 is infinity. It will throw an error. It will throw an error. So to overcome that error, we are replacing that with 0. Okay. So what we are saying is, hey, divide the sales value by the unit sold. Okay. And if you encounter anything 0 in the denominator, it will throw an error. So for that, we are capturing that error with is error. So is error, okay, if anything comes in the denominator 0, which means it'll throw an error, right? If it is true, is error also will return true. Then replace that by 0. So you might be wondering, why the hell should I use is error here? If you don't use is error, and if you upfront divide the sales value by the unit sold, it throw an error. So right in the real world scenario, the jobs are running in the production system as per the date and time whatever we schedule, right? As per the schedule, it will run. So for example, every day by 2 a.m. this job should run. Every day by 3 a.m. this so and so job should run, right? As per the schedule, all the jobs will run. It should run seamlessly, okay? Because of this trivial issue, right? Yeah, if this throws an error, your job will fail. To overcome that, we are capturing the error. We want to make sure that our ETL jobs should run smoothly, right? So we are replacing the error by 0. If something error, okay, 0, replace it by 0. Or else you leave it as it is. Leave it as it is. If the condition is true, do this. See, this is first one is the condition, right? Everything is condition. This one is, see, I have written a complete thing. This is the condition. If the condition is true, do this, or else do this action. And again, I'm using, yeah, and again, what I do is here, sales by units, yeah, and if or else, right, 0, blank by unit sold, comma 0. Okay, this is not required. I'm sure I did this for, okay, if is blank, again I did this. So here, if this one is blank, see in this case, see here I have used the is error and is blank also, and again if in the the denominator I used it. If this one is blank, right? See, not only 0, sometimes blank values also. Look here, it is blank values there. We are checking everything. If the denominator is 0, replace that by 0. Okay, replace the error by 0. Definitely, if the denominator is 0, right? If you are dividing a value by 0, it will throw an error. What if my denominator value is blank value? Nothing is there. If it is 0, fine, it will throw an error. If it is a blank value, still it will throw an error. But that also we need to, that's the reason why if is blank, in this case, basically we are checking, do we have any blank values? To replace that by 0, else leave it as it is. Okay, and else units sold, comma 0. Okay, in this case, the new column, see this is a new column. In this new column, I'm applying all this logic. Okay, and 1 0 2 3 2 3 2 1. Yeah, we are dividing this by unit sold, right? The sales is, so yeah, this one divided by this, and this one divided, so this one divided by this one divided by this, and this one divided by this. In this case, obviously 0, right? So it replaces that by 0. So basically we are checking in the numerator also, if we have a blank value, denominator is also, we can also expand this by additional conditions. But here, if the condition is true, do this, or else you do this, and else 0. Okay, or else, right? If you have a 0, okay, I replay 1 second. What did I do this here? And this one opens here and then it closes. Even I forgot this logic here. Okay, here you can, yeah, do this and then, okay, and I just, if you click on this here, yeah, this blank, okay, yeah, for this one I'm doing it. If it is 0, see, even in here itself, the denominator itself, we are checking if is blank, right? We are in the if condition, we are checking if it is a blank value, replace the 0, or else you leave it as it is, unit sold, okay? Unit sold, and this one is related to is error, okay? Inside the is error, we are doing it. And the next one is else 0, right? Sales by customer, column blank. In this case, we are directly dividing this value by, okay. So if it is a blank value in the denominator, do this, handle this by replacing that blank value by 0. Or if it is 0, right, what you do is, directly if you, here also I'm just checking it, right? That is the confusion happened here. Is my colon blank? If is blank, unit sold, comma 0, sales by unit sold. Okay. So this step is not required. Okay. We can limit ourselves with this one. Okay. What you do is you just, just play around with this. So here, what you need to do is, in case of the denominator values, blank in the sense NA, right? So the is blank will check any blank values or empty values. Okay. So you need to check in the denominator we have any blank values are there in the unit sold column. That is one thing. Then in that case, you replace it by 0. Or if the unit sold in the denominator has 0 in it, right? In that case, how do you handle it? Right? So in that case, how do you handle it? So for that, what we can do is you can check, remove this one. Unit sold is equivalent to 0, right? Probably you can put another if is error, right? If is error. So not is error. If the unit sold equal to 0, replace by 0, right? Is equivalent to 0. Oh yeah, in that case, it will throw an error. Okay, so in that case, simply put is error here, right? Is error. Simple common sense, okay? So there are two scenarios here. One is in the denominator, you may get blank value or you may get 0 also, right? In both the cases, in either case, it may throw an error. We don't want the error to be thrown. Instead, we replace that by 0, right? Anything divided by 0 is infinity. Obviously, it will throw an error. You can just check that one, okay? I'll share this file to you. You click on each and every column. For example, if you click on this, you can see the logic here. Okay, if is blank. This is how you can read other um, Power BI files also. You can go to the internet and download, any files given by someone else, download it, and then go to the data view also. You can check, have they created any calculated column. The other easy way to find out is, look here in the table, right? Just beneath the table, you can see the table icon with FX, right? And sum is there and FX is there. And Boolean is logical. Where is Boolean is logical? Yeah, if you click on this, you can see that this is the calculated column. And here you can see the column, right? So here you can see this one and customer name column, right? This is another whatever this icon you can see, this is the one created by, created in addition to the existing columns. Okay, these are the calculated columns created by the developers. Okay, and here we are checking is blank sales by customer name column 1. What is customer name column 1? Customer name column 1. Here, yeah, this is the one. So in this one, are there any blank values? Are there? It says false, right? We don't see any blank values. What does it tells us? What does it tells us? What does this tells us? It goes and look here, what values are there here? Column 1, right? Customer call name column 1. Okay, here, so we want to check whether, this column has blank value in it or not, right? For that, we have created a new column called customer name column. So is it clear or not? Are you able to follow me or not? Okay, Swarna says it's clear and, oh yeah, okay, you are clear, right? Okay. So how about others? Kirti, you are not able to understand. Kirti, I would suggest you to practice it. What you do is create a new column. I'll just show you this one. See, I'm not going to copy paste this. Okay, I'm going to remove this column. Okay. See, you need to pick up very quickly. Okay. And if you cannot understand, it's very, very difficult. They will escalate you. Okay. But certain things, right, you should have watched by now all my videos and you should have practiced it. See, guys, when it comes to software industry, practice is very much important. If you don't try it or if you don't practice it, you will not learn anything. Okay. Simply if you watch movies, that's all. You need to learn how to dance. in the sense, right? Not dancing. You need to start practice it. New column. I just create a new column. So I want to check programmatically whether this column has any blank value in it. Okay. Just give some, name. Okay. Some name. Okay. Is blank. How to use the is blank function. That is what I'm teaching you now. And here, sales by customer. And here, sorry, the customer name, column 1. So this is available where? So this is, since it has space here, you need to put it in a square bracket. And here, what is the table name? What is the table name? Kirti, what is the table name here? Guys, please concentrate here. If you don't concentrate here, you're gone. Please switch off your mobile. Sales by customer. We have customer name column 1, right? The is blank function will return what? I explained you, right? Is blank function will return what? All of you, please type it in the chat window quickly. Is blank function will return what? Yes, Sarah, you're correct. Swarna, you're correct. Yeah, Deepa, you're correct. How about others? Is blank function will return what? Guys, please remember this. This information functions will return true or false. Simple. Okay, this will return true or false. So now you tell me what value, if I'm going to create a new column by the name of customer name blank 2. This new column will have what values in it? Yes, Mahima, you are correct, right? See, if you don't even make any attempt and simply say confusing, you think American will keep quiet? It's a very such a simple thing even a 10th standard student can understand. Here, this one checks, this function will check whether this column has blank value. Here, do we have any blank value? According to us, yes, we have a blank value. But what data type is this column? Kirti, can you tell me what data type this column is? All of them are able to understand except Kirti. Kirti, can you tell me what data type this column is? What data type this column? Okay, if I want to click on this column, it will display the data type, right? Customer name, this column is not the text data type, isn't it? The text data type. So if I have blank value, what does it tells us? This I explained to as per the Power Query editor itself. If a text column has blank value in it, what does it tells us? Yes, it is an empty string, right? Empty string, very good. No, it is no, Kirti. I think you need to watch my Power Query editor video, right? The previous session. See, now we are in DAX. So I covered Power Query long back, right? Even the current batch and the previous batch also. You need to first watch that video so that you will be able to understand very clearly. If you don't watch it and if you watch the subsequent session, you will not be able to follow, right? What can I do? So in the text data, see customer name column 1 is the text data type, right? And here I have the blank value. If I have a blank value in a text column, what does it tells us? So is this a blank value? No. In the text, if a column is a text data type, and if you have any blank value, that means it's an empty string. Empty string. Okay, it's an empty string. It is not considered as a blank value. This is very common in almost all the programming language, Python, Java, C language. You take any programming language, this is a very common one. Got it? Yes. Okay. So here, the since it is a text data type, even though we see a blank value, it is not a blank value because the nature of the text column is if you have a blank value, that is not considered a blank value, it is a text empty string. Okay. And now we will see, and I'm going to let me do one thing. I'll just yeah. So what I am doing is, okay, I just okay, this is the one I created it, right? Yeah, this is the one I created it. Simple one, I used it. Sales by customer name column one, right? Here it goes and check whether is this a blank value? No, right? It gives me false. If it is a blank value, it will return true here, true or false. Okay. And here it is a blank value? No, right? Hence it says false. Is this a blank value? No, it says false, right? So for all the values in this column, it went and checked, with this condition, right? Is blank? No, false. You might be asking this question. Yeah, in the last record, we have blank value. It's supposed to return true here. Why it is returning false? That is because since the customer name column one is a text data type. Hence, it is considered, the blank value is considered as an empty string. Okay, it's an empty string. That's the reason why it says, it is not an empty value. It is a false. It is not an empty value. It is an empty string. And this is a common, you need to note it down in a note paper. Okay. So this is very common in almost all the programming. You take any text column. If you find any blank value, that doesn't mean blank. That is a empty string. Okay. And the next one is, yeah. And okay, now the question is, if I find any, okay, let me do one thing here. See here, what I did, I'm just checking the customer's name column. So where do you have the customer's name column? This is the customer's name column, right? So I'm using is blank. So there is an exercise. They want you to find out the empty string, okay, or is blank, okay, is blank, replace that by blank. Okay, and here we are checking again the customer's name. And if you have any blank value, return blank, right? It has to return blank. So here, obviously, right, these blank function should check whether it has a blank value, but still it is not able to do anything, right? Still it shows false. When I check the is blank, after I created this column with this condition, I replace this. I was under the impression this is a blank value. Using is blank, it will return true. So replace that by blank. Okay. In that case, what will happen? It will become true, right? Here it will give true. No, it still says false. I will take another example. For example, sales column. Sales column. So if sales column blank one. If I use is blank of sales function, what value will return? Here, is this a blank one? Kirti, is this a blank one? No. Is this a blank one? No, right? Is this a blank one? No. So here blank, it will return true. It will return true in here. Okay. And I will just create another column. So these are the very fundamental thing. Probably college time they would have trained you, right? If you are a computer science student. Is blank. Is blank. I am going to say replace blank. Okay, blank. Or let's start with simple one. Okay. So I am just I'm checking the sales column, right? In this column, see in this newly created column, I am checking whether the sales column has blank value in it or not. Is this a blank value? No, right? Hence it returns false. It is a blank value, it returns false. Is this a blank value? No, it is not a blank value, hence it returns false. This is a blank value, it returns true in this case. Since it's a numeric data type, it returns true. If it is a text data type, still it returns false, because in the case of text data type, see, this is only one thing you need to remember it, right? In the case of text data type, if you have blank value, it returns still false only, because if you have a blank value in the text data type, it will be considered as a empty string. Except text data type, rest of the columns, if you have the blank value, the is blank function, see, the is blank function will return true or false here, okay? And here you don't have any value, hence it returns true. It tells, hey, in this column, in this row, you have a blank value, returns true. And similarly, here it returns true and returns true. Rest of them are doing it. You might be asking, why the hell should I create a new column to display true, true and all, right? Why should I do that? So the scenario here is, wherever the blank value is there, you need to replace that by 0. So there is a business logic. How will you do that? In that case, this is very much helpful, right? If is blank, wherever true is there, replace that by 0. Okay? And the rest of them, you leave it as it is. For that, I'm using an if condition along with this. The if function also will test the condition first. If the condition is true, you do some action. Okay? Look here, if you type this one, you will find this one, right? If the condition is true, return true, else false. Okay? No, so if the condition is true, do this action, or else you can specify what action that needs to be done. You understood or not? So if I have a bank balance more than 1 lakh, then I want to buy a car, or else you display the value as it is, right? Just think that way. Okay, here if is blank, and right, so try to understand. So you need to improve your IQ, guys. If you cannot understand, see, the first one is a condition. The if function will take the condition, okay, and you are testing the condition. If this one is true, which one is true here, right? These are the true, right? The true, what you do is replace that by 0, put 0, or else simply display this value. If this column do not have any blank value, simply display the existing value. Okay, don't disturb it. I'm going to press enter. This is 10th standard computer science class. If you don't know, and if your kids are studying in school, computer science, I think 7th standard, 6th standard itself is there, right? You can ask them, they will explain. Look here, 10232 481. See, here what happens? In this column, I am just, I'm taking the sales column, and I'm just checking wherever blank values are there, replace that by 0. Rest of them, you don't do anything. So 10232, it is, so behind this, in what happens, the is blank will return true or false. Okay. If the value is there in this column, it will return true. Sorry, if it is not a blank value, it will return false, right? Hence, it will not do anything. Only when the condition is true, it will do this action. So where the condition true we got it, here we got true, right? So in this case, it will return 0 in this row. It will replace this one by 0. Okay, but whereas in this case, we don't have 0, hence it displays this value. Okay, don't do it. Sorry, displays this value as it is. Is this clear or not? How many of you are able to understand this one? Simple, you have to analyze. You need to give more work to your brain. Okay, what you do is I'll share this sheet and you create a new column and practice the same thing. Okay. No, don't say for the sake of me, understanding that, right? So to get happy, don't tell that. How many of you are able to understand? Exactly. In the Excel, how it works, right? The same way. In Excel, you do the same thing, right? The same way. See, in the Excel, you just think this is an Excel file, right? You have a sales column. They don't want you to disturb this column. Create a new column, right? So in that new column, also display the sales value. But in wherever in blank value is there, replace that by 0. Very good, Sagar, right? Rest of the value, leave it as it is. That's all. So now the question is, why do I need to have this column and this column? You need to have the original column to validate whether your logic has been done correctly or not. Instead of putting 0 here, right, the blank value, whether if your logic is mistake, it should not put 0 here. To validate that, we are retaining this original column. Once everything is validated correctly, you can remove this column. You don't need this column, right? You can remove this column. But if I remove this column, will this display the value? No, right? So what you need to do is you need to leave it as it is. Probably we can exclude that. Applying is function like Excel. Yeah, if formula. Yeah, in Excel we have if formulas. Sagar says if formulas. Applying that logic. Very good. Yeah. Yeah, like he said, yes, good. So in Excel, we do the same thing, but it is little bit different. I think in Excel also we use blank function, right? Is blank function is available in Excel also. Yeah, better you can prepare, check the Excel also, open Excel and play around with Excel also whenever you have free time. A lot of YouTube videos are there regarding Excel. You can start go through it. Because one of my students, when she attended the interview, they asked out of the blue, in Excel, how do you create the charts? She was saying that no, I never created. I was literally pissed off. Okay, how come in Excel you did not create any chart? Even school time, right? Irrespective of the stream that you took, they ask you to use Excel, right? And creating the charts and very simple in Excel. Practice that one also. You also, because in the interview they expect you to be versatile. Okay. Now we are in the artificial intelligence era. Okay. We are not in the stone age. Hence, please go one step further and do it. Don't limit yourself. Okay. Go extra mile and prepare it. Obviously, the outcomes are good. Salaries are ready to give, right? So even GM, General Mill. Today we got some call for other students. They are ready to pay up to 40 lakhs for data scientist. They're ready to pay, even with 7 to 8 years experience. 7 to 8 years experience. For our student, he's looking for a job. General Mills, they are ready to pay up to 40 lakhs. So hence it's not it's not a very tough subject, very simple one. Just simply practice it. Okay, the same way. So these are called, the informative functions. Why we call it informative function? Because it gives us information whether the given column has the expected value or not. Is blank as it's pretty straightforward. So we want to check whether whether we have any blank value in a specific cell or not. Is empty also, you can, this is for table action. This one in assignment, you just give it a try. Is logical, I have shown you is text. For example, what data type is this, Kirti? This is whole number, right? So create a new column, click on new column. Is number, okay, use the is number function. That is number function, all these information function written true or false. Programmatically, you want to check, is this a numeric data type or not? But we don't check like this for learning purpose. I'm putting all the things, okay? Unit sold is text. Is text is a function. Look here, inside this, it gives me value, right? Here, I just put unit sold. And if I press enter, yeah, we don't need this additional column. Swarna, you are correct, right? We don't need this additional column. Unit sold is text for you people to understand how each function works. For reference purpose, you can use it, okay? Look here, false, false, false. Unit sold is text. So unit sold, is this a text data type? No, right? Hence it returns false. All of them are numeric value, including the blank value. Including the blank value also, right? It returns false. Okay, and So is text. Similarly, is number. If you put instead of is text, if you put the number, what will happen? It will return true, right? It is a numeric data type. So everything you start practice it, create it, analyze it, go to the internet, right? Search it, ask Google, you will learn many things. So unit sold is text, right? So, so is number, look here, we got some additional interesting 10, 15, 12 is true, is a numeric value, but false. It is not a numeric value because it is a empty value, right? It has nothing, meaningless value, hence it is false. Similarly, you can just check is logical, okay? Yeah, is blank. Yeah, is blank will return true, right? For those two records. That's all. Okay. So that is how you just play around with this thing. You will be able to understand very clearly. Next one is sales W04. And we will take a look at one logical function. Okay, I'm going to create a new column here. See, for example, your manager wants to see, okay, your manager wants to have an additional column in your data set, or he wants to have a report wherein he wants to do analysis based on the high sales, medium sales, low sales. Okay, you want to do some kind of analysis. So for that, what you decide to do is you want to create some sales rank column or something like that. Here I'm using a switch function, right? So here we are checking the condition. If the sales value is less than 1000, low. If the sales value is between 1000 and 2000, medium. The sales value is 2000 and above, we need to flag this a high. So for this, what is the base column you are using it? Sales column. So you want to take this column in a new column. In the new column, you want to flag anything less than 1000 as low, anything between this range is medium, anything between high. Okay, is this less than 1000? No, right? And the 1090 falls in where? Between 1000 to 2000, hence it is a medium, right? This is the values displayed here. And 3873, is this falling in this bucket? Nothing, right? It is falling in this bucket. So anything 2000 and above is considered high, hence it displays high here. Can you see that? Okay, why can't I use if condition? If sales W04, sales is less than 1000, low, put low, else I want to add another condition, right? Again, you need to put if here, one more if. If instead of using multiple nested if, right? If else, you can use switch function. And here the first argument is true. So why true? You have to use true here. Only then it will come inside of this one and then it will check this condition. Okay. Whenever you use less than, greater than, or equals, and right, use true blindly. Okay. Switch first argument is true, comma, and if the sales is less than 1000, low, and if the value is falling anywhere between medium, anything 2000 above, you put high. That's all. So now you understood how to use switch function. Okay. Similarly, what you do is profit, right? The assignment for you, create another column, profit rank, or right, profit rank or something like that, right? Create another column and then you check if the profit, you set some value, anything less than 800 or anything less than 700 is low, anything between 701 to 900, it is medium. And if you create like this column, they can use this column in the slicer. Okay, so show me the medium sales. Okay, and select the medium around, it will show the medium related sales. Okay, or if you want to display in the column chart, right? So medium, high sales side by side. So the sales is high and the profit is, that doesn't mean profit is also high. There are cases you will get some different insights. There is one ampersand. Yeah, okay, okay. Very good question, Sagar. Okay, good that you asked. On behalf of Kirti, you asked. So in fact, if I were Kirti, look here. So here, what happens? first argument is true. You need to put, okay. Only then it will come inside and check the condition. You check this condition wherever the sales value is less than 1000. Look here, 861, right? And if you see here, it is low. 61, right? It is low here. First, it checks the condition. If any value falls less than 1000, it simply put that low here. And there are, right, I want to check between ranges. I want to check. See, in this case, anything less than fine, but I want to check anything greater than 1000 and less than 2000 in this range. So I need to use two conditions. So this is my condition one. This is my condition two. Based on the two conditions, only when you combine these two, you can find out the range of values, right? Instead of using and, here the and, right? We use the double ampersand. This is the one. This is nothing but and operator, okay? So which means we are telling, hey, you don't check this condition also. In addition to this condition, you can check this condition also. If these two conditions are true, then you replace that records by medium. Okay, so here, if you see this one, where is the right? So 1908. This is obviously more than 1000, but it is falling less than 2000, right? You need to define some range. If you don't, a lower bound, upper bound kind of thing. This is a low, this lower bound, this is upper bound. Anything falls in this range, that is medium. But the third one is pretty simple. Anything above this 2000, put it high. Or again, if you want to create a very high, right? So you can put a condition here. Anything is greater than 2000, double ampersand, sales is less than or equal to 4000, high, and above 4000, 4000 above, you put very high. Okay, you can try that one also. So that's what you need to practice it. It's very simple. A function like between, right? So in between. So in SQL, how many of you are familiar with SQL queries? SQL queries. SQL queries, we have some between operator available, right? Between. So the values between, anything between these values, right? Above 1000 and less than 2000, any value falls between this, put medium, and the rest of them, you put it as high here, okay? So this is very, very important, guys. This is a very simple, basic, even 10th, even now, right? So even in our family, we see, right? Kids are doing this one, right? When 7th standard kids, they are doing this one. They write this one. You need to start practice it. Include additional condition if you want to understand it. So make mistake, right? And then test it out here. And then you'll be able to understand. So you need to make mistake. And, if you get error, you check in the internet, fix it, try it on your own. Still, if you are not able to, then you can come back to me, okay? Only when you try it out. Let's say you experience and then you go and search in the net and you try it with that, and again you get and again go into it, but you will not forget this one forever, okay? Oh, this is how, try to understand, this is how you can think analytically. So now we learned about a switch function. Switch function is very much helpful. Instead of writing, multiple if conditions, right? If else condition, you can straightforward, you can write it. So ideally, we need to make this code little bit legible. So what I do is I just hold the Alt key and I press enter, and it just moved down. I'm just pressing the tab here. In the keyboard, we have tab. And then what you do is I just put the second condition in the second row, and then the third one in the third row, okay? Now it is pretty decent, but in the real world, this is how you need to write your code, okay? So that it will be more legible, right? Anybody, when they look at it, they can understand very clearly. If you write everything in one line, it's very difficult to understand. So even in our exam, if they ask in the history exam somewhere, right? If you write everything in one paragraph, does it make sense? Nothing, right? They say one page, the answer for a specific question. If you write it everything, it will confuse. So make it more legible, your code. So like, in the case of switch, true you need to put, but especially guys, when you use less than greater than equal, you need to use true, okay? And I will tell you another scenario where you can use switch. Now we are done it, right? You can click on the tick mark or press enter, okay? And then now, it already, it got, the new column got created and filled with this value, fine. So next, what we will do is we'll take country state column. Here, this column is not required. I'm going to delete it. Okay, we have a region column. Once again, we have a region column, right? In the region column, where is the region column? Yeah, the region column. Next to the three dots are there, right? If you click on it, and you should be able to see all the value, right? Canada, everything is there. But test is something, strange, right? Test Asia. So I'm going to replace test as Northeast Asia and test as the North. Okay. So I want to, there is some, data related issues. So what we do is, here I just click on the new column. I just put region 2 because our region column is already there. So for this, I'm going to use switch. So usually when we do switch, right? In the case of text column, so far, see the previous example, I've used a switch function for the numeric column, sales column, right? If the sales is less than 1,000 low, between some value, medium, and above something, that is your high. Okay. And apart from numeric column, if you want to use switch for a text column, you can directly specify the column name here, region, press enter. Here you can just check W4. Yeah, this value, this column has test in it. Replace that by I think I need to use this column again. Maybe double quote. Double quote is the problem. Okay, and here replace it by north. Okay, look here. It gives you the syntax of the expression, right? Specify the expression. But in this case, I did not put true here because region is a text data type. Simply I specify the column upfront. Instead of using true, I put the column name itself, comma value 1, right? So if the value is test, you put nor, okay? And yeah, or else you leave it as it is, okay? Don't do anything, okay? The rest of the values, leave it as it is. Don't disturb the rest of the values. I just put this one, okay? I just press enter. First, let us check whether it shows the correct value in the region 2. Don't write complete logic. It'll take longer time. Yeah, functions which does not support combining values of type with values of type true or false. Okay, okay. Here we need to use double equal sign. 1 second. Yeah, we are using double equal sign. No. Here, okay, okay. Simply you put, okay, in this case, you need to put the value directly, okay? See, it is that much simple, right? Um, Wherever test is there, you need to replace it by, this one. But here it is showing something else. 1 second. Test. Okay. For this, you can use simple if condition. Okay. Here, test. Okay. Let me do one thing. If I do this, it remains as it is. Okay. What other value did you see here? I just check here. We have the Test Asia, right? Test. Oh, this is mistake here. Look here. Here we have only one T here. Asia. That is the reason why it was not able to replace that value. Sales W04. Here I put additional extra thing. That's the reason why it is throwing error. Make sure that you are giving proper the open. See here you have only one opening bracket parenthesis. Make sure that you end with the only one parenthesis. This is called parenthesis. Okay. Look here, test. Earlier it was displaying test, and I replaced that by NOR. So what missed? See, this is correct logic, but what mistake I did it? I used the wrong value. I put double T here. Actually, in the data set, we have test. Okay, now you understood, guys, how important practicing the code, right? You create another column, you practice it. Okay, try with different values. Okay, so then all the test value got replaced by NOR. The test Asia will get replaced by, here I did not replace that. Sorry, I should have replaced it. So here North Asia, comma, the rest of the value leave it as it is. Okay, I'm going to press it again. Press enter, or you can click the tick mark. Once you have written, if the logic is wrong, it will throw an error. Read it thoroughly and use your common sense and try to fix it. Or else, see, sometimes what will happen, the value in your data set, see here, region, we have test, right? None of you informed me, right? So, this itself tells you are not concentrating here. Maybe you are bored or tired. The test here only one T, not two T, and replace that with NOR. The why I did it was right, intentionally I did it. Sometimes what we'll do, the logic is correct, but still it is not working correctly. Look here, if I go and check it here, and it's perfect, right? North Asia. We replaced all the records tested by North. Sorry. North, and we replaced all the test Asia by North Asia. Are you able to understand? So very simple here in the case of text data, you just first argument is your text column name, the column name, text column name, and then next what value you want to replace it with what. I want to replace this one by this value. Find and replace. Find this value and replace that with this one in Sagar's simple language, right? Find and replace. Find this value in this column. Wherever test is there, replace this one. Find this value, replace that with this. But here you need to, when I tried the single quote, what happened? It was giving some absurd thing, right? If you put single quote instead of the string value in this case, if you use a single quote, it is underlining with some red color, right? So something like red color, and that means it is not actually here. Double quote, uses double quote instead of single quote. You need to use double quote. Why? So that is how it works. The syntax, okay. So sometimes, right, in place of double quote, you may have to use single quote. If you encounter any error, something like highlighted with or underlined with some red color line, zigzag line, that means try with single quote. Got it? The way, if I try with double quote, that underlined error went off. That means if you give a single quote, start with single quote, end with single quote, what happens? It is not accepting, right? This the red color, that means error. It will not accept this one. Okay, you might be thinking that syntax error. No, you need to use double quotes. Obviously syntax error only, but double quote you are supposed to use it. There are certain things are very subtle. You need to practice this. How you do is you put single quote and make mistake and go and check in the net, right? So you have something called Stack Overflow. They would have given there. Okay, so you replace single quote by double quote. It will not work here, right? Put the entire thing in the error and you search it there. Okay, troubleshooting, you should be very good at it. so that you can go to office 10 a.m., leave the office by 6 p.m. So, okay, we are bottom line oriented. If you complete the job much earlier, you can leave. To the right side, red pipe indicates wrong code. Where right side, Sagar? This is not pipe actually. It is the next line. Okay. It is, you are talking about this one pipe, right? No, it is not error. Okay, look here. If you click on this, here, right? Everything is correct. No error. This is because next line, na. So, instead of putting this one, right? If you click the cursor here, look here, dot, 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 something like that. Okay, you can ignore. This is not an error. So, underline, right? Just beneath this, if you find line, red color line, red line, that means something wrong with your syntax. Hope you understood. In the case of testing the equalities, right? Inequalities or equal, less than or greater than or equal to or equal sign, then you can use the first one as a true function. In case of simply replacing the value, find and replace kind of thing, you can use the text column, right? You can use this and simply, find this text, find this text and replace that with this value. Simply you can do it. You can do encoding. This is called encoding. Sometimes what will happen is, you have a state column, right? In India, we have state column. We have something called Madhya Pradesh. Instead of Madhya Pradesh, you want to replace that by MP. Andhra Pradesh, AP. No, it is coming exactly close to your data name. When you make mistake in code. So close. Which one is close? Sorry, I did not understand your things, Sagar. Data name, when you make mistake in code. Oh, when you make mistake in closer. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, other thing is correct. So, if you put additional parenthesis, it will throw an error, right? So, don't put extra parenthesis. You have opened with this one. All these things are happening inside. And then you close this one, right? So, you just use this This is the expression. In this case, we did not put any expression. Simply, we are using the column name. Next, we are using the value, right? Test value and then replace that one. And a open parenthesis, closed parenthesis. Don't put extra parenthesis. If you put extra parenthesis, also correct, right? So you will get an error. Yes, Sagar. I believe you meant about this one, right? Yeah. Press enter to execute this, or click on the tick mark to execute this. Okay. And if you test it here, always it is good, test it. Once you apply your logic, this is simple logic, business logic. They call it business logic or encoding, right? And click on the cross, okay? Click on, now, it is not required, we have done, or we can simply click on the up arrow here. We don't want the parma bar to be visible here. So now you understood switch function and logical, the switch function falls under logical functions, okay? And apart from this, if you want to if I want to check the conditions, two conditions together, like I mentioned, right? Less than, greater than 1,000, less than 2,000. It should be between these two ranges. I want both the conditions to be right, true. In that case, use double ampersand. Okay. These are the basic thing. If you are completely new into programming, please practice this. Okay, that's the reason why I told you people fast batch. Please start work on SQL also. Sometimes the SQL, when you learn the SQL queries, that will make your understanding very simple. Okay, SQL is in fact very simple. Look here, double ampersand. If I want to, so that's what I explained you. Truth condition, right? Truth table. If the first condition is true, the second condition also should be true. Only if there is, see, something like, let's say you are eligible for relief fund. Let's say your government is giving some relief fund. So you are not, so let's those people do not have house, right? House equal to no, and affected by flood. Then you are eligible for relief fund, right? So something like that. So both the conditions should be true. Only then you go. But here in the case of or double pipe, so this condition can be, any one of them can be true, right? So, or let's say in this case, true or false, right? So in this case, for example, okay, a person is not having a house, but he is not affected by flood. Or let's say the person is affected by flood, but he is owning a house. Okay, but or the house, house. Let's say a house equal to no. It should be no, but this person is having house, right? This condition is failing, but at least one condition is true, hence it will return true. Got it? So in the case of or, there is an exception. At least one condition should be true, other can be false. So here the person, see, the general rule is the person should not own a house and he should have been affected by flood. Then he is eligible for loan. But let's take one person, Ram, right? He is affected by flood. Either he affected by flood or he is not he is owning a house, right? But the condition, what condition? Our condition here is house equal to no. He is not supposed to own. But for Ram, he is owning a house. In his column, in the house column, it has yes in it, right? Yes, yes. Okay. In that case, the condition fails, but still he affected by the flood. Hence, he is eligible for relief fund. Okay. So any one of the condition is true, it will return true. But in this case, both the conditions should return true. Okay. But the person should not have house and he should have affected by flood. Then only then we are going to give the relief fund. Okay. So if it is a true or false, yes, the person is affected by flood and is owning a house, but the rule is he is not supposed to own the house, hence fail. He is not eligible for relief fund. You just think that way, okay? So ampersand, double ampersand you need to use if you want to join more than one condition. Sometimes in real life scenario, we need to join multiple conditions together. But when you join more than one condition, you can, if you use double ampersand, this is what it tells you. If you use pipe symbol, this is what it tells you, okay? But in is multiple ors, okay? And instead of using or, you can use you can check, but in this case, text column, right? For the categorical column or text column, channel name is text column, you want to check, three conditions, right? Channel name is equal to store, or channel name equal to online, or channel name equal to catalog, then do something, okay? What you do is you can do some Googling, right? And you can just check with some examples and play around with it, okay? With all these things, because these are the very fundamental thing. And so it's true or false, right? In importantly, the ampersand, double ampersand, and in, right? All these things, okay? And we have if error also, yes, right? If error. Instead of using is error, you can also use if error also. If error also, the same thing, not much. So we have covered so far the information function and then the logical functions. Next, I thought of covering the aggregation functions. I think you guys might have overwhelmed because I have a mix of non-programming people. So what it is, you take a break and fast track it. You have to work hard. Don't come and watch the sessions. Okay, you have to how much hard work you are doing it, that matters a lot.